So here we have that hybrid, and then that's going to be a very conservative way, because even if you do get wrist involved, or you don't, and you do hit it thin or a little bit heavy, what saves you is the bounce on the club. And you know, the pros, when they at Augusta, they're always experimenting with different clubs, finding out which one's better, because you see I'd lofted the ball on the fairway, and so then the ball rolls out. So you know, those are the little things that you can use. And then when it comes to, say, basic chipping, you've got, you know, Tiger using a 7-iron, and so that goes back to your little 7-iron. And because I just pulled out random clubs, and you know, it's good to stand very close to it, and then you just swing, make little swings with no wrists, and it just pops it up just to get it onto the fringe, and then runs out like a putt. And so the taller you get, the more rounded you can be, the better. There you go, because you're hitting it to this back pin. And so that's the more rounded you are, and the better the chipping. So I would say you grip down on it a little bit, maybe just get a little more this way, but that's okay. At least you're feeling that the club does this the whole time, and you square it up with the club face, with the body. And then the little shorter ones, I think that's to the pitching wedge to this first pin, and then this is the face on. And you can see here, if we took Tiger Woods, he's with the sand wedge here. Now he's just turning his body back and forth, and then squaring the club face up with the body, which is very important, I think, there. And then you've got yours, and you're just going to make a little turn back, turn through, and you can see as you come through, you're really catching it nice and clean. And one thing you'll notice, and I always point this out, and people look at me as though I'm crazy, but the good chippers always let the head go with the shot, and they're pitching. You'll see the head, they'll hit it, and then the head follows it, because it's easier to release the right side. When people say keep your head down, then the wrists take over, and then the right shoulder drops. You see how his shoulder moves there, you see, and you can see his whole body moving together. Even in the backswing, you'll see his hip, it's turning this way, his shoulder's turning. See, he's not trying to tilt, but he's just turning on the angle that he set up, then turns back into the ball, squaring the club face up with the body. And you can see that the club is still facing the chest. So that's why now you did a good job here, but the body didn't keep moving, and the head didn't keep moving. I'll bring in some other players just so that you can see what they're doing. And here's one of Ernie. I think this is the one. See the head following it? Yeah, so there. And a few other players, you can see how they follow it. Back and forth. And it helps them really just pick it clean. And then when it gets to the pitching time, you'll see the same thing. Let me get the pitch. So that's why I just thought I'd bring that in, and then if you So Tiger was hitting a weight shot here. You see the head go. So they basically let the head go with the shot. So it's nothing you need to force right now, but it will help you really make it easier. You'll pick everything nice and clean. So
it looked like his head came up before he hit the ball.
Yeah, exactly. Now, this is your sandwich, your 60-degree, should I say, lob wedge. And there you go. That's the same shot that Tiger was hitting there. This one in particular. And he lets the sternum face the ball, the club like that, angled. So that's, I think, going to be very helpful with when it comes to that shot. Now we were over at the other side, hitting the longer pitch shot. This is just a big chip shot. So you can say this is a very conservative way to hit the pitch shot. And let me just do this. And then you can see as you come through, turning nicely, and there it is. You see how you followed it beautifully there? And then here's another one. Angle the face open a little bit. And you know, the more you open it, the easier, actually it gets easier. Always remember, it's easier to shut the face down than it is to open it back up. So if you ever get the face too square, you're going to have to go like this, and then the leading edge gets involved. Yeah. And this is a 56 to the the left side. That was that mid one, and you can see it. You not using wrist, but you're just relying on the loft of the club, because there was room for the ball to land and roll out. Okay, so now we bring in the wrist. Okay, so now let's see. Pitching will be now this would be more the high shot. Okay, so here we go. Face open. Hinges it, scoops it up. Hinges it, scoops it up. Alright, now you're going to go presetting the club backwards. Hinge it. Now you're releasing the club and you scoop it up. Perfect. And then I'll give you this. This is Freddie Jacobsen. Very unusual movement, but you can tell how he kind of scoops it up. You see his club forward. Unusual way of, they call him junk man because he can get it up and down out of the junk, and his swing looks like junk. It's funny. Now look at his, when he comes through, he's going to scoop it up into there.
Whoa.
So, yeah, he does it on his bunkers too. It looks unusual. He has no wrist hinge, and then he just scoops it.
Wow.
And he never takes a divot. Just scoops it.
That's like my stand.
And what he's doing is he's presetting the right hand to be bottoming out there, so that's why it comes in and just slides right underneath. And that's what you were doing with your hands back here, because I said just reset it back and then return it to that position. You don't need to have it leaning forward, otherwise it drives the ball too far. So now when you come back down, you can see here and there, and then you release it, boom, very good. And then we'll go to the last one. So you're hinging it nicely. That's a nice plane. That's very good. And you can see pretty much how these guys do it. And then yours. Keeping the face open. And you'll notice that they have a big chicken wing there because they use their right hand, and this arm actually, this hand comes off the club. Yeah, so that's why they have a narrow follow through like that, because they're just letting the right hand do the work. Left hand doesn't even, it just goes for the ride or support of the club. So, and then lastly, I will show you, which I don't like to show, why you wouldn't watch Bubba Watson heading into the grain. Okay.
Wow.
So watch what happens. Look what he does.
Oh. Oh no.
And he did it a few times. I was like, wow, this is interesting.
Was that on purpose?
Yeah.
Oh. Whoa.
Now what you do is you see he's going like this and he's catching, so that's a little bit unpredictable. But you know, it takes a bit of practice. But it's better. Nah, he's just doing it on messing around. He has all kinds of shots, but that's a you ask any tour player, they go because you see this is blunt. So you just open it and then you just hold it open like that. You set like a less lofted wedge, like a 51 or a pitching wedge. So it'll be a little bit more close, because if you open the 60 it'll really be like this. And then you just go like that if it's grainy, and it'll, you know, it'll won't slice, but it'll be a little, it'll just jump off to the right, because you see this is blunt, this is sharp, and that's sharp. So you never want to hit that kind of shot there.
Yeah.
You see he's got it closed and he's just doing it on purpose going.
Wow.
Now maybe he's doing it where he wants to chip and run, you know, he's not interested in, but he's kind of limited on certain shots. But it's not the recommended way.
Yeah.
It takes a lot of, yeah, because you have to sit there and practice how hard you, I mean, you can do it, but it just doesn't, it's not reliable, so.